Welcome everybody to this second edition of the Community Kitchen, Ethiopian New Year edition. I want to wish everyone happy Enkutatash, Melkam Addis Ababa, which, oh yes, John's joining, which means Isaac will probably join and he knows what Happy New Year is, and I'm Harak too. I figure I'll give a little intro, which is that I just stopped off in LA's Little Ethiopia because I had to buy some injera and some other spices and stuff for this event, and I almost was late to my own party because I got sort of impromptu included in this like massive Ethiopian New Year celebration, and like I was like being like foisted all this good Ethiopian liquor. Like this is Tala, which is like a homebrew Ethiopian beer, sort of made with wheat and barley, I believe. And this is Tej, which is honey wine. So these are like off-label, just local varieties. And right now I'm in my friend Josephine's kitchen. So we're just getting set up here. Really excited for everyone to be here. So for we got a relatively, I think we have a small enough group that we could even like go around and say like hellos and introductions. Actually, well, first I want to introduce the host. This is Josephine.
Oh, hi. Hello.
You want to say something about yourself?
Hi, I'm Josephine. What else?
Let's see. What are you excited about to do today?
I'm excited to be with y'all. Thank you. I feel like it's a festival now with all the food and beautiful people. So I'm excited to share my culture and my food with y'all.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay.
Cool. All right. I'll let you get into your kitchen and not be too much in your space. Let me share my screen. I got some materials to guide us today. Let's see. One second, everybody. Okay. So, share. All right. So, Ethiopian entrees. That's what we're here to do today. While we're just like getting going, I guess the first thing I wanted to encourage you to do is to begin assembling your ingredients. You can, like, if you haven't already, you can chop your onions and mince your garlic, get your spices already. Oh, come on in.
I don't want to interrupt.
No, you should. You should introduce yourself to the community. We have another host.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marone. I'm very excited to share this special event with you guys. I hope you guys really enjoy what we prepare with you guys.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Marone. I think what I wanted to do to begin with like a little group participation and just for everyone to get to know each other. Actually, you know what? With the first thing we could do, let's just get everyone to know each other. I was hoping maybe we could go around the room and for folks to, if you'd like, share a bit about your shopping experience. Like if you were able, I know not everyone was able to make it to an Ethiopian grocery store on short notice, but if you did, where did you end up going? Or if anything you did sort of in the run up to this event. For example, I know Anjali and her mother, who are right there, made bearberry spice from scratch. Anyway, if folks want, maybe folks want to feel free to maybe like raise your hand and I'll eat, or you can unmute yourselves, whatever.
My mom would like to share. No.
Please share Anjali's mother.
It was surprising. I found almost all the ingredients in my Indian kitchen for the Ethiopian spice mix.
Wow. Like what was in the spice mix?
Yeah, what was in it, Mom?
Coriander, ginger powder, cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, fenugreek seeds. What else?
Michi.
Cayenne pepper, paprika. I think I omitted the onion powder because I don't like onions. So I think I pretty much got everything.
Wow, that's awesome. And so does your kitchen smell like just like a spice market right now?
It always does.
I was gonna see if I could pull off the same thing like as the Zoom happened. So after I have the spices sitting out.
Whoa. Oh my God, Rachel, it's so good to see you. I don't think I've talked to you in like 10 years.
No. Hi. That's what happens when you post things on Facebook.
So cool. Wait, so what do you have out for your spices, Rachel?
Yes, so we have, she just went through most of them, I think. But yeah, like the coriander and the cumin and the fenugreek, peppercorns, allspice, paprika, cinnamon, and turmeric.
Those are very attractive spices you have. What brand is that?
I would highly recommend it. I just got them because I moved continents a few months like this summer and had to throw away all my spices in the process. So I just got Burlap and Barrel, New York spice company that we really like.
My father sends me Burlap and Barrel cured sumac in his care package.
Yes, that's what the cured sumac and the Urfa chili are like nuts.
He also sends the black Urfa chili.
All right, your dad and I like would definitely agree on this one.
Amazing. Amazing. Emily, I see you you got some things going on already you're like doing your mise. What's going on over in that kitchen?
Well, I could not find the spiced ghee, so I was trying to infuse some ghee I already had with black cardamom and cinnamon and fenugreek and cumin seeds, but I think I just burnt it because I stopped paying attention trying to log on to Zoom. So it may or may not have been a failure.
Oh no, technology getting in the way of making homemade Ethiopian spice clarified butter.
They're awesome meats though.
Oopsies.
But quite impressive that you're making your own knitter kibe.
Attempting.
Bought some from the, I don't know where it is, but we just bought some from the Ethiopian market.
Very jealous that you have a full-on Ethiopian market.
Yeah, it's really special having just a whole little Ethiopia district. It's a blessing of living in LA.
That's cool.
Did anyone else get to visit an Ethiopian grocery store?
We don't have this is Clifford. We don't have an all Ethiopian grocery store in Philadelphia, and you have multi ever. So I went to the one where I knew the injera would be. And so I got a pack of injera that in a matter of, not quite literally, it just come out of the oven, just finished baking this morning. So that was all right. And since I'm here, I might also note that the bear we're cooking with is 15 years old, was sent to Zach by someone in Addis after she did some work down there. 2004, 16 years old. It's still good.
That is some special heirloom berbere. I'm honored it's finally getting use after being shipped. Was it shipped to, I think I might have smuggled it back in the country.
No, it was shipped to you.
No.
So we kept it.
Thanks for keeping it for me. I appreciate it. Let's see, what, anyone else have any good Ethiopian shopping stories?
Yes.
Say something, Gus. Yeah, Gus, let's hear from you.
Yes. Hello. So I live in DC, and luckily here we have a very large Ethiopian community. So there's no shortage of Ethiopian grocery stores. So I was able to go, I tried to go to 2 places, but they were closed. I actually didn't leave my house for this shopping trip until about an hour and a half ago. So a little bit last minute, but it all came together. So the first 2 places were closed, and the third place I went to was open. But when I went inside, it wasn't actually a market. It was more of like a restaurant type deal. And there were like a bunch of Ethiopian guys inside watching the US Open together. And then I talked to the owner there, and she said that she had all of the stuff, but like it was only by the kilo, or like, 2 pounds a pop. And so I asked her where I should go. So I went to a separate Ethiopian grocery store up Georgia Avenue in Brightwood neighborhood in DC. And they had everything, and including a butcher in-house that I got some fresh beef from. And they had all different types. They actually make their own clarified butter in-house as well. So it was a really cool experience to go in there and kind of like see all the different products and, you know, the guys cutting the meat fresh to order. So I just got back about 10 minutes ago, actually.
Wow, that is an awesome saga. So you actually found not only an Ethiopian grocery, but an Ethiopian butcher?
Yes.
That's super cool. And this was like right around your house, I guess.
Yeah, this was like a 5-minute like moped ride away.
That's awesome. Let's see. Anyone else have any Ethiopian shopping stories they'd care to share? Curious to hear if anyone like found any new places to shop that they didn't know existed. John, I see you looking at the camera. How'd you do in this past week's market mission?
It was sort of a group effort. Like we got injera from Bernie today and shared supplies with Vicky. So it was really like a Philadelphia kind of coming together, I suppose, in some ways. But we went to the International Food and Spice Market, which we've been to before for like for spices for Indian cooking. And one thing I learned that I didn't know, which I heard somebody say earlier, but like fenugreek powder is called methi. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's definitely, it means it's meti in Hindi. Is it meti in other languages too? What's fenugreek?
It's just like one of the few things that wasn't marked anything else. Yeah.
Do you know what fenugreek is in Amharic?
I don't know. Maybe Josie knows. What?
Do you know what fenugreek is? All right, it's okay. We can Google it, I guess. But yeah, I know it's definitely meti in Hindi. Nice.
Fenugreek in Hindi is saunf. Hey Zach, Kritika here.
What's going on? I am definitely happy to stand corrected. I thought saunf was fennel though.
Oh, saunf is fennel.
Right. Oh yes, I mixed it up. Sorry, I wasn't Googling.
Nice. Kritika, what's going on? It's nice to see you.
Well, I'm not cooking.
Oh, okay. Well, it's so good to see you on this Zoom. You're another person I feel like I haven't connected with in years. And
I know, several years, 5 years now. Maybe more. When were you guys in Mumbai?
2014 is probably when we met. So
yeah,
it's been a couple years.
Yeah, 5 years. So I'm in Ithaca right now, Ithaca, New York. Okay. And there is an Ethiopian restaurant here, which I've been wanting to go to for the longest time, but they were closed during the lockdown. So they are open again. But yeah, I think this is inspiring me to go check them out soon.
Yeah, go give them some business. Especially during Ethiopian New Year, you might even get
Oh, I didn't know that. It's Ethiopian New Year. Is it today?
Marone, you were just teaching me a bit about Enkutatash, Ethiopian New Year. Can you share some knowledge with the group?
Well, I was just saying that some of the special sort of things that happen around this time of year in Ethiopia is that there are these seasonal flowers. They're called Addis Ababa, and they only bloom this time of year in Meskarem, which is the Amharic name for the month of September. And so you will see that the women, they're sold on every street corner. They are used for sort of accessorizing the women's hair. So it's a huge cultural thing, and it's very, very popular. And it's almost like it's New Year's, when you see the flowers and things like that. So that's what I was just telling him about. So that's one of the things that always comes to my head. But there are other stuff too. Josie, isn't it for New Year's that they do the fire and what is that called? So there are other traditions that are carried out during New Year's holidays. And one, I remember growing up when I was in Ethiopia, it was a short time, but when I was there, I do remember the kids would gather around within the smaller communities, and they would set up almost like this like fire basically, and they would sort of dance around it, and that only happens around New Year's. And I'm sure there is some sort of historical story behind that, but I know that that's one of the special things that happen around New Year's in Ethiopia.
Girls going to each other's house.
Yeah, what Josie was referring to is it's very similar to sort of how kids in America say trick or treat during Halloween. That would be the closest that I could sort of assimilate to the American culture, where the girls, you know, young girls probably from anywhere between the age of like 7 to probably 15. It varies. They sort of get in groups again, sort of gather around within their smaller communities, and they sort of, what do they get money, right?
Yeah.
And so they basically go around, they play the drums, and as they're going around from house to house, they're almost like, you know, people are rewarding them with money or
Right.
food or so again, that's another thing that happens around the holiday time. And different regions also of Ethiopia will have similar but slightly different touches of that, of what we're talking about. Yeah.
Super cool.
So different things. It also really depends on what region of Ethiopia you're talking about. Each region has a little bit of a twist of its own, but for the most part, like the Addis Ababa and the girls going around from, you know, one house to house, that's pretty much straight throughout the country. You'll see that.
Awesome. Thanks for the knowledge. Ethiopian New Year knowledge. I feel like it's also really cool that, so Addis Ababa, like the city's name, is also the name of the flower.
Yeah. Well, the capital Addis means like new flower. Yeah, like new flower. So yes, it does, and it is very similar when you sound it out in terms of
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess.
Question.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to raise my hand virtually. Sorry, but do we know what calendar the Ethiopian New Year is based on? Like, is that a religious calendar or?
Yeah, it is a religion calendar. So we go by the Julian calendar, whereas America goes by the Gregorian, I believe. And again, we have 13 months. There is a month in there in that calendar where there is a 13th month, but it only consists of like 5 days. And it's very interesting that you bring that up, because in the midst of what's going on with the pandemic and everything, you know, I don't know how it may sound a little superstitious, but a lot of people have said, you know, I don't know if you guys remember back in 2012, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, it's going to be the end of the world. And, you know, on the Ethiopian calendar this past year, that just happened, 2012, ironically enough. So very interesting things going on.
Wow.
Thank you.
So we're in year 2013 now.
Yeah, so now we're in 2013.
So like maybe 2020 will be better the next time around.
Hopefully, I don't know. Yeah.
Joseph, it's so good to see your face. What's up, man?
Hey, it's good to see y'all too.
Wow. Joseph is like next level chef. So just to have this man on the Zoom.
We might have to competition.
Don't put us to shame now.
Zach is just very, very, very sweet. So I'm
What do you got going on in your kitchen right now, Joseph?
I didn't have a chance to buy everything, so I'm just making some tomato soup with Chipotle.
Ooh, it's like the Americanized Shiro.
Yeah.
Right. I'm curious if one of the pieces of the little like market, you know, pre-homework was if you could go to an Ethiopian grocery store and find a ingredient you'd never used before or heard of. Did anyone get a chance to do that? My mom just shook her head. Mom, what'd you get?
Zach, what was the question?
It was basically similar to that market mission we had last time with the Indian store, like go and find something you'd never cooked with before. Did you find any ingredients you hadn't seen before and pick them up? Nice. What you got there, Mom? I feel like I want to take a screenshot of it. But you're on. Mom, can you unmute yourself?
I'm afraid if I pick it up, it's going to all fall apart. But there's the injera.
Nice. That's a big old bag of injera.
That's really serious, right? Although we've been kind of noshing on it all day, little pieces. So we couldn't wait until tonight.
What I really love about the injera you guys got, Mom, is it looks like that's like pure 100% teff. Like the color of it is like super dark and gray. And I got to Little Ethiopia too late because it's like New Year, so they were just totally sold out of like the pure teff ones. Where did the injera go?
I put it in the bottom.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, the one I got, I feel like it's like a hybrid blend of like
Right.
wheat. You can tell it's like a little grayish brown. Anyone else get some injera that they care to show off?
I got two kinds. I went to two different restaurants because none of the Middle Eastern grocery, we don't have an Ethiopian grocery store like John said. But I did go to two Ethiopian restaurants who were kind enough to sell me injera alone.
Ooh.
But
Can you hold up your injera? I'm trying to get some
we
screen
went
grabs.
to, see, this is from Kappa Crossing, which is the OG awesome first place I ever had Ethiopian food.
Ooh.
This is from formerly Ethiopian, which now has a new name. It's next to Abyssinia, but not Abyssinia. And it smells really sour and delicious. And they're really, really, really nice in there. And if anyone's in Philly and wants Ethiopian food and hasn't been there yet, I recommend it because they're so nice.
Will you drop the name of the place in the chat so Philadelphians can find it?
Yes, I will. And did I miss it? Today is the Ethiopian New Year?
It's Friday.
It was Friday. Okay.
But
Interesting.
like, maybe everyone's just celebrating the whole weekend? I don't know.
Yeah.
In both the Ethiopian restaurants I went into, everyone just seemed a little bit like worn down. So maybe they were done celebrating.
Yeah, I guess maybe like a little New Year hangover. Cool. So let's see. I feel like maybe I should move on to the next piece of the learning cooking agenda. Oh, wait, this is the wrong thing to share. How do I get to, there it is. All right. All right, so yeah, we shared about Enkutatash. Great. Is that how I pronounce it? Enkutatash.
It's very good, actually.
Oh, I'm just looking at it. So, all right, then we had our market mission. Cool. We did a little share out. All right, now maybe we could do a little bit of like cultural education about the dishes we're cooking. And also, actually, real quick, do folks have access to the ingredients and instructions from the email? I want to make sure people aren't like holding their breath for me. I feel like I wasn't sure exactly how to plan this with like us talking and people cooking at the same time. Feel free to cook. We got some good chopping action going on over here. What's Josephine and Maroon? Will you just tell us what's going on?
Sure. I'm chopping the garlic
Yeah.
right now. And she's doing the tomatoes. We already chopped the onions and just put it in here.
Well, let's see what's going on.
So it's just simmering by itself. So to get the sweet flavor, you just want it like, usually when we make like chicken stew and stuff, we'll have it simmering for like 12 hours and it just caramelizes itself.
Just a modest 12 hours.
So exactly. Now we'll just try to do 30 minutes. But yeah, so it's just letting it simmer while we chop everything.
Nice. All right. So folks at home, do you have I'm hoping you have some onions simmering, stewing. If
Question,
not,
should
oh
we
yeah.
eat them in ghee or oil?
Ooh.
And what?
Like in the nitakebe, like the Ethiopian butter or in oil?
No, you do it in the oil. You can do it in the oil first, and then you put the butter like last, like as the end of the.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so we should just saute the onions for now, like on low heat?
Yes.
Low heat with no oil, and then naturally the onions will sort of release their natural all that excess water, and it will give it more flavor. So as that water sort of starts to evaporate a little bit more, you can add the oil in. And then usually we put the ghee butter that you're talking about sort of towards the end, or where a lot of the seasons have already mixed in, and it sort of just ties everything in together at the end.
Okay.
Great question. I have a feeling that the ingredient list I sent maybe misled folks and told you to fry it in the butter. I think I was probably just like, you can never fry onions in too much butter, but perhaps there's a more traditional way. Anyone else have any recipe questions before we go into some Shiro education?
Yes. Are we putting in the whole half cup olive oil at the very beginning?
Oh, that's a good question. How much oil would you cook for the Tibs or for the Shiro? For the Shiro.
I'm sorry, I got dropped off the Zoom for a little bit. So what are we doing first?
Oh, we're just doing them all. We're doing them all. I sort of lost control of the flow. I think we're kind of just like everyone cook. We're all in the process of cooking Tibs and Shiro, and I'm gonna probably give a little like Tibs and Shiro education while we go. But we're chopping things for everything right now.
Sort of for both, right? So both dishes are going to call for tomatoes, garlic, onions. So the primary difference in what we're doing for each one, for the Shiro dish, you want your tomatoes more finely minced, whereas for the Tibs, which is the meat dish, you can roughly chop your tomatoes, and that's fine. So it's just going to be differences in sort of how you chop them maybe, but it's going to call for all the same ingredients.
Okay.
So we figured it would just be easier to get all the chopping and everything done, and then we can just go straight to adding in the ingredients and sauteing and all that stuff, if that makes sense.
And as far as getting the onions going, it's not super important the amount of oil you're putting in with. It's just enough to kind of get them sauteing.
Yeah, once it's once the onions by itself has sauteed, just like enough to cover the whole onion. So once it's like you feel like the onions is saturated with oil, like you just stop. Yeah.
Got it.
You don't measure.
So one of the biggest takeaways about Ethiopian cooking is a lot of it is passed down from generation to generation, and unlike a lot of American cooking, for example, where everything is measured out, a lot of the stuff is sort of just Rachel Ray style, sort of eyeballing it, and it turns out incredibly amazing. So just bear with us if we're not the best with like telling you guys specifically, whether it's 2 tablespoons or whatnot. It's just because we sort of have been so accustomed to eyeballing everything. So we'll try our best to give it a quantitative amount.
That's awesome. That's my way of cooking. I don't even own teaspoons and tablespoons.
Experimentation. Yes.
Sounds great. Good questions, Bernie and Gus. How's everyone else doing with the cooking so far? Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question. So is there an alternative to meat for this recipe?
Oh, for the Tibs.
Yeah.
Great question.
Or like in Ethiopian cooking is like what vegetable?
What would you say to a vegetarian?
Wow.
Good question.
Make injera with it.
Yes, you can make it. Yes, you can make it into first. So once you saute the garlic with the tomatoes and onions, and you get that flavor, you could add a little bit of Burberry and a little bit of tomato paste. to give it more flavor. And then the amount of water you'll add to it will depend on how much injera you're trying to put in. But you can sort of, what's the best way? It's almost like I guess you could think of it as almost like a pasta salad kind of thing, where you tear up the pieces of the injera and it soaks in that sauce that you've sauteed. That's one thing you can do, but I've also seen some restaurants, they will substitute with like tofu. That's more recently what I've come across as I've, gone to in DC and whatnot. They'll do that with tofu and things like that. So definitely worth looking into if you want a meat alternative.
Yeah, and also that's why we did the chickpea in this, because we're usually vegetarian, so we wanted to make sure like we had an option, because usually like at holidays that people want to eat meat, but we wanted to give an alternate with the chickpea, so at least like vegans and vegetarians can eat that. So
yeah, great.
Nice. And I know there's also like there's a lot of different.
Lentils.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's like other vegetarian Ethiopian dishes too.
Yeah, a lot of vegetarian dishes.
Yeah, because traditionally we fast like at least 100 days out of the year. So a lot of our dishes are vegetarian, vegan, but on high holidays, because we fast so much, we eat a lot of meat. But yeah, so there's a lot of, you can do like lentils, you can even put potatoes. You can just peel and put potatoes in the same dish. Because the whole starting point is very similar. So you can do, what's there? I'm using my...
beets.
Beets, yeah. So, and cabbages, those are my favorite. And lentils, we make lentils a lot. Yeah. So those are the choices.
Yeah.
And did you say that for 100 days of the year, it's vegetarian food?
Close to 100. I haven't counted exactly. But like, yeah, for like, because if you follow the Orthodox Christian religion, that I am, you fast Wednesdays and Fridays every week. And then there are a lot of days where you fast like 40 days for Lent, for example. We just ended another fast that was 16 days. So they're like incremental fasts, and those times you don't eat, you only eat vegetarian or vegan food. So yeah, so it ends up being like, I think close to 100 out of the year in totality. Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt, guys, just for reference. So here, this is what I was talking about in terms of just chopping differences. So this tomato, I don't know if you guys can see, this is going into the shiro, which is the chickpea sauce. So you can see that it's very, very finely minced, and it's because you really want it to dissolve in the sauce. You just want the flavor, but you don't want chunks of tomatoes in there. And then for the meat sauce, you can see it's a rough chop because it will saute in and it will sort of condense down. So it'll be fine.
Nice. Fine chop for the shiro, rough chop for the tibs. Cool. It's pretty cool. So when you say fasting means you're only eating vegetarian or what? Like vegan.
A lot of people don't eat until like equivalent to here, like 3 in the afternoon. So like you abstain from any food or like liquid, like water or anything until like 3, which is it's 3 because you supposedly supposed to go to like church, not with like jobs and stuff, probably really hard, but you're supposed to go to church and then like have the eulogy and all that stuff, and then come home and then you eat. So you're like eating like once or twice. Well, you're eating twice for those fasting days. You're just eating the 3 o'clock and then you eat dinner, and then the cycle continues. But yeah.
Cool. What comes up for you during the fasts? Like, do you feel like more connected spiritually? Or
I think you feel connected spiritually because it's like teaching you discipline. You know, you're like disciplining your body in terms of eating healthy foods. You're also like spiritually connected because you're understanding every day you have a purpose of why you're doing certain things. But yeah.
Cool.
Signals united.
Awesome. For the Jews on the call, we've got Yom Kippur coming up.
I was raised Jewish too, so.
Oh yeah.
I'm in all religions.
You got a lot of fasting traditions.
Yeah, I was raised do. Yeah, I did bar mitzvah at my commencement at 10th grade. So yeah, until 10th grade. So we still celebrate all
definitely more Jewish than me. I don't think I made it till 10th grade in Hebrew school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Just how it happened. Let's see. All right. So we going back to the food education. Let's see. Here's my little presentation. All right. So for Shiro, as we just learned, it's often consumed during fasts because it's just this great like vegetarian and can be vegan dish. You can mix it with injera to make a dish called Shiro Fit. What is Shiro Fit? Maybe it's just like you mix chopped up pieces of injera with the Shiro.
Yeah, so Shiro Fit is basically what we were saying as an alternative to essentially the same thing like we were saying. If you didn't want to add the meat to the tips sauce, you could just saute the onions and the garlic, tomatoes all together. And once that sort of sautés into a beautiful sauce, you can add injera to that and sort of tear it up to little pieces. And anytime you hear fit or fur, that basically is saying that you're sort of soaking the injera into the sauce, and thereby you can see the consistency of the injera as it is. It's sort of a soft, easily tearable bread. So when you put that into the sauce and it sort of absorbs all of those juices, it becomes sort of what can I compare it to? Bread croutons? Yeah, it's just like to eat it at breakfast time. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and essentially you can really do fit. There's no rule book, so you can really make any of those sauces and add the pieces of injera to it and make fit out of anything, right? So if you had the lentil sauce, if you had the shiro, if you had dinnichwet, which is the potato stew, anything you could, if you wanted to make it into fit, you could. It just means that rather than having the injera on the bottom and you're scooping the sauce onto it, what you're doing is in that pot, you're tearing the pieces of injera and adding it to the pot and having it absorb and then eating it in a bowl, or you can even still put injera on the bottom and take the pieces of it, so yeah.
Cool.
You can. It's very versatile. I feel like the whole purpose is like to kind of like recycle the injera, because injera gets dry really fast. So if you like leave it out and stuff, so we usually try to dry it and then like reuse it or whatever it's like left of the injera. Like instead of like throwing it out, you can just like kind of put it in the pot and just repurpose it and then eat it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know that my association with Shiro is definitely having it served in these beautiful clay pots called shaklas, where I feel like in Ethiopia and a lot of Ethiopian restaurants, they'll serve it in those. And it's kind of like at the bottom, it gets all nice and crusty, and you get that like it's like the bottom of a bibimbap, you're like scraping the bottom of it. Cool. How's everyone's Shiro looking? Anyone have any Shiro commentary?
We
Stories?
have a question.
Yeah,
so we've we've gone all the way to the end, and then our Shiro it has like a peanut butter consistency rather than like the smooth, like thinner consistency that I've had in restaurants. And I just wonder like what we've done wrong.
So that just means.
Can we see your?
Yeah, it looks like that.
Okay, so one of two things. If you just made it, then your water to shiro ratio is like you have more shiro than water.
So you could just add more.
So you add more water until you get that consistency that you're looking for.
Okay.
Keep stirring it because it gets to be like what's it called, like little balls or like,
yeah, it sort of clumps together. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're consistently stirring it. Okay. So it's usually the easiest way for those of you who have not gotten to that part, is to bring, once you've sauteed all of your vegetables, so the onions, the garlic, the tomatoes, and all that, once it's fully sauteed, you want to add the amount of water that you think that you'll need for however many people you're feeding, right? So usually if we have like a small saucepan, we'll go up to like 2/3 of the pot will fill with water, and you want to bring the water to a boil, right? So once it comes to a gentle boil, that's when you want to take 1 spoonful at a time. You want to just sort of drop the shiro into the water, and then you want to stir with each time you put it in, because what will happen is it will clump together in the water, and it will be hard to sort of see how much shiro you have in the water. So that's what I would recommend, and we'll try to show that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, I sort of jumped ahead, but
No. Say we didn't. That's
yeah. We will show you guys that process and more, exactly what we're talking about. But it will make sense when you see it why you want to do it that way.
Sorry for letting your shiro get clumpy, Anjali. Should have provided
But
more
easily
advanced
fixable.
instructions.
Just add some water, keep stirring, and you'll be good.
It's looking good. We just didn't add enough water, and now it's getting like a nice, creamy, smooth consistency.
Great. Awesome. Yeah.
I have a question about injera.
Yes. Zareen, go for it.
I had fermented injera. So I made one batch of injera where it was teff, water, and flour. Then I made another one that was teff and just water. Which one is more traditional? Because I've read online that teff and water is the more traditional one, with no yeast and just the natural yeast. Or how is it traditionally made? So I'm having a little bit of a tough time with just the teff and the water. But the other batch,
You made your own injera. You're probably the only person on the call right here who did that. So
That is impressive.
First, let's
We
all
are
just,
so impressed.
yeah. And they like fresh ground it for me, which was really impressive at the store. So
wait, what was your injera question? Injera experts, do you know how to answer her question?
Yes, I think. I think you need to, like, at least traditionally in Ethiopia, like you get an old batch from somebody else. Like, so they'll give you like a little cup of it, and that's like your starter pack. So traditionally, like, because it's already like its own fermented one that they give it to you, and then that helps you to, it's kind of like making a sourdough. So I think that's the traditional way to do it. But you can also use like the starch packet. I think people use that here. But yeah.
Like a yeast packet?
Yeah.
And it's made with flour and teff combined.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So Zareen, what do you hold up what you got going? What is that?
Add flour to this, even though this has already been fermenting for about 5 days or so.
Wow.
And there was another batch that was also fermented for 2-3 days when it was like really hot. So it kind of, it fermented faster. But I'm going to try this one with just a little bit of flour, and we'll see.
Okay, that's amazing.
Wow. Please keep us updated on your injera adventures.
Will do.
Also, Zareen has a really great food website called Woke Up and Made. And if you put your like URL or whatever in the chat, people should check it out.
Sure.
And hopefully we'll see like an injera post on it soon. Cool.
We were talking about the injera process. It really reminded me of a dosa batter, and that to me would be like a really interesting like combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wonders
Question on how to store injera. Like, can we put it inside the fridge? Because I had to buy like 10.
Well, you put it in the fridge. You put it in the fridge.
Yeah?
And then
Okay,
put
cool.
it in a bowl or in the fridge.
And how long can it stay in the fridge for?
I think it can stay like a week or and a half, but you have to keep changing the water. So like I don't know if it's like dirt or whatever, it keeps rising up. So you have to drain that and then add more water, and then that's essentially what helps out.
Wait for the
So-
prepared.
And once it's already prepared,
You're like leaving the fermented one, you keep changing the water like every 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it gets this soury flavor to it.
Right.
If the water's been sitting in it for a long time. But it's a process.
Is it better if you keep it in the freezer or something?
Oh no, I think it has to be in the fridge.
All right, so don't
Yeah.
don't put it in the freezer. Andrea, where did you get your injera?
I probably went to the same place that you did, Mercato on Fairfax.
Oh,
because I'm
nice.
just, like, 8 minutes away from there. So
You live close by?
yeah, I live super close by.
So good. Did you know that?
Got a lot of Berbere spice too.
Oh, that's a great little.
And
pack of Berbere.
this hot sauce looks amazing. I'm
Yes.
super excited.
What did you get? What is that?
The awase hot sauce.
Ooh, yes. Yum. Yeah, I got theirs. They actually have some homemade awase, and I got the same. It looks like I got the same one over there. I don't want to interrupt the cooking, but I think it's like some mita hot sauce too. You know what's cool about that place, Mercato, Andrea? In addition to you and me counting as clientele, other customers include Puff Daddy, also known as Diddy, Anthony Bourdain, Nipsey Hussle. Kanye West. These are just a smattering of the people I saw.
That's crazy. I did not know that it was, and it's like you would never imagine. One, that it's a market, and it's just so casual.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many like Ethiopian women there, like trying out different outfits when I went.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Had you shopped there before?
No, I hadn't, but I had been to the Buna Coffee because a friend loved studying there, so I would go and just join her to have a good coffee, which I also bought. I also bought really good bag of Ethiopian coffee from the place. So I'm excited for my morning coffee.
So good. Cool. All right. So.
Hey, Zach.
Yes.
I have a quick question. If we weren't able to get that hot sauce, the azawe, is that what it is?
The awase?
Yes, awaze. Is there a substitute that we can use or something that might be a little bit close or?
Great question. I'll ask the experts. If we can't find awase, do you have any recommendations for awase substitute? By the way, I'll show up. This is the homemade awase.
The Asian, what's it called? It's in the fridge. Yeah, we'll show you. I like that one. I cook with that one a lot.
Awesome. We got. Ooh, yeah.
That's my
Show it.
favorite.
Go for it.
So this is a substitute that we like to use.
Sambal.
Is that sambal or is that chili garlic sauce? Chili garlic sauce. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
a sort of substitute?
Yeah, I use that a lot.
Yeah, or I mean, if you have some Burberry on hand, you can literally mix. You know, you could try to mimic that consistency. It probably won't taste the same, but if you also what arake is.
Like white.
Yeah,
Like-
sometimes they do mix it with the Burberry and a little bit
It's like
of
equivalent to tequila.
yeah. It's like Ethiopian made tequila. And you add like a few drops in there, so you can sort of make something that sort of mimics awaze. If you have just the Burberry powder, you mix it in with a couple of drops probably of the arake, which is Ethiopian tequila, and zaytunani jawab.
Yeah, I can put oil.
You can put a little bit of oil. Again, it's just a little bit of beer. Yeah, so you.
Okay.
You can sort of make it from, sorry, you can't see me. You can make it from, sorry.
Would that have like water as the base or is it like oil as the base? So it's like which do you use to achieve the texture?
So I probably do an even, probably a little less, probably a little less oil, a little more water, but I do add a little bit of oil, I would say. Because it will take sort of that gritty texture out of it with the oil. But again, you don't want it to be overly greasy where the vegetables sitting at the bottom of your container, and the sort of the oil separates. So again, it's based on your preference and what you like, but once you experiment with it a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll sort of, whatever works for you, you can sort of do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Sure.
That's a great hot sauce tutorial.
Share our dish. So
Oh my God, you already have it ready.
yeah, we're eating. So
Whoa.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. We did it with cookies because that's what we're gonna do today.
That shiro looks amazing.
The shiro looks really good.
Wow.
That looks awesome. Will you take a picture of it, Anjali?
Yeah, I got a picture with the whole community in the background. Does it look
Nice.
How did the consistency come out? That was
Does
good.
it look authentic? Mama, they can't see it. Yeah.
Mmm.
Wow.
That looks so good.
That looks really good. How does it taste? Do you like
it? How does it taste, Mom?
I think your mom just put the camera away from her while she was eating. Oh.
She's eating, so this is your first time trying it, right?
It's so good seeing you, Miss Bhatia. I haven't seen you since one of Anjali's concerts.
I know, great seeing you too.
Yeah.
What are we going to be cooking next?
Great question. At some point, you're going to teach us how to make parathas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How's the shiro compared to some dal or like chana dal, like I don't know, like Indian chickpeas?
The dal is pretty similar, the masoor, because we make dal too, but the shiro one is completely different. We don't have anything like that.
Wow.
Cooking.
Yeah. Also, it tastes different if you get it from home.
I have another question.
Because each family, when they make it, it's a whole process that they left the chickpea out in the backyard and it dries and seasons and stuff like that. So every family has its own recipe that they do, and the northern part of Ethiopia is known for chickpeas, so they're known to have like the best shiro compared to like other tribes, because that is their main ingredient that they like to eat. So they have perfected the way they season and stuff like that. It's very different, but it's really hard to find it at a market and stuff. So a lot of Ethiopians, when they come to the US, that's like what they're bringing mostly, because it's so hard to get one here. Yeah. Sorry.
Cool.
Josephine, I have another question.
Yes.
So when I saw pureed tomatoes, I bought just like a can of pureed tomatoes to save myself a step. Do you think, and it sounded, I'm sorry, what are our hostesses' names again?
Maroon.
I know you had said that like one of this for the tomatoes are like finer for one than the other.
Mm-hmm.
For one dish than the other.
Yeah.
Would I regret using just like a sauce for the meat dish, or like if I have tomatoes, should I just chop them up a little, rougher instead of using like a puree kind of sauce can?
Yeah, we
in your
probably
opinion?
would recommend rough chopping if you
Yeah,
have
you
a
just
couple
cut
of
like this.
Yeah, plum tomatoes.
Just like, or 3 ways. Cut it like 3 ways. Yeah.
Sorry to make you buy pureed
Definitely
tomatoes, Brandon.
Because
It's okay.
see,
Waste.
so hard to explain because I feel like when they see it, the problem with doing, you probably could get away with it with the shiro dish, with the chickpea dish. You could get away with using pure. So it's not like a waste. You could use it for one of the dishes at least. But for the meat, you don't want the tomato to be overpowering in the sense that it becomes like sort of a soup or a stew almost, because the kind of tips that we are making is more of like think of it as a shrimp like scampi dish basically. You know how that sauce is very clear, it's light, it's more garlicky. So I would assimilate that kind of sauce is what we're going for. If you add like tomato pureed, or it might be too overpowering.
Okay.
So that's the only reason.
So I might get away with it in the shiro, but I'll go for the rough cut with the.
Yeah, it will totally be fine to put it in the shiro.
Great, thank you so much.
Great question, Bernie. Cool. All right, how's everyone? How's everyone's like kitchen situation looking right now? Yeah. Oh, Olivia has a thumbs up. Olivia, how's it going? Haven't heard from you. It's good to see you here.
Hi, yeah, we're doing well. I have my roommate Karina here with me.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So we're doing our best to make do here, but we're on our way.
We're a little bit behind.
Yeah, we're about halfway done with the first dish.
Oh, that's great. Do you have anything on the fire, or are you just chopping things up right now?
We do. We have up to, let's see, we just put in the pureed tomatoes and chopped garlic for the shiro.
Mm.
We're about to add the flour in a minute.
And where did you get your shiro?
We went to, let's see, what was it called? Salon Market.
Ooh, where's that?
It was on Pico Boulevard, near, like on the way to Culver. I don't exactly know what neighborhood it was in, but it was like 20 minutes from where I am, so not too far. Yeah.
Cool.
It was great.
Nice. Hey, Michael. How are you, sir? How's I think you're our only Denver representative. How's Ethiopian food in Denver?
You know, I can't speak a ton to it, but I had a nice little trip yesterday to some purchases, kind of fairly close to downtown. So yeah, just kind of unclear as you go along exactly to what extent was falling. I know at the jump we were watching the end of the tennis, so if we missed any like blatant instructions, then we'll find out. But anyway, excited to see where things go. But no, it's been good. I'd never been to that grocery store before. I've been nearby, but never.
Right, and did they had injera?
No, but they had pretty much everything else.
Okay, cool. Is Jesse in the screen also? I can't see Jesse, but I see. Hey. Hi, Jesse. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We're working through it all.
I hear you have a great food Instagram.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just started it in quarantine, but it's making me cook new recipes and everything like that. So.
Awesome. Yeah, post it in the chat. Everyone's starting their food businesses during quarantine. Amazing. 6 feet apart. Genius. What a quarantine food name.
What a comment.
Yeah, zinger. That's a good one.
So Youngzy,
Cool.
are you at your place, or are you?
No, we're at Josephine's place. And we're like doing really great it's not a lot of space to work with, but we're like totally rocking it here. Yeah.
Where I missed it very so like how far are you apart, or where are you physically right now? Like,
We're coming to you live from Koreatown, Los Angeles.
I'm sorry.
And no, you're good. And yeah. Nice. What do we got going on here?
Jalapeno.
Passing some jalapenos. Yeah, so we're in Koreatown. And let's see. I think the next thing I was gonna share a little bit of content about was going to be, let's see if I might have a tip slide. Honestly wanted to prepare a little bit more, but what I did want to
quick
was,
question.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm sorry. At what point when you're making the tibs do you add in the Burberry?
Josephine?
Thinking
No.
my steps.
So the process that we're doing is first, let me come up to you guys. Sorry.
Take your time.
Okay, so I was just saying, so the process that we're doing is we're sort of, we're using like a wok pan. So we just put the meat in, as you can see, and there's nothing except for the meat. So we're just gonna saute it until the meat is completely cooked on all sides. We're gonna take it out, and then separately in that same pot, we are going to saute the onions, the tomatoes, the garlic, and that would be an acceptable time if you wish to add the Burberry, because again, you sort of do want it to receive enough heat that it sort of cooks and it doesn't have sort of that gritty like powder, like you shouldn't be able to taste it. So if you saute it in there and then add the meat towards the end, that should be fine to do it then.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like I love it.
Awesome. That was a great question. When do we add the berbere? It's like one of those existential life questions. So let's see what else. I was gonna share a little bit of. Here we go. So one thing that I have this like really fond memory of when you go to Ethiopia, you'll see that like everywhere on the street there's just butchers. And like the experience that I've at least had when you get Tibs is you go and you just sort of like go to a butcher and you sort of like order like a kilo of meat and then they'll just cook it up for you right there in a shakla, one of these like clay pots. And often it has these rosemary sprigs on it or different chilies, and they'll sort of have like the charcoals in that. Anyway, it's such a nice experience. And then often you dip it in like mitmita hot sauce or in, I think it's, what's mustard? Sanafich?
Oh, I think it is Sinafinch. Yeah.
Sinafinch. Yeah. So that's that's always been a really fun experience for me. Plus like the Gorsha experience of like basically there's this like whole culture in Ethiopia of feeding people food with your hands called Gorsha, which once I'm at another point to interrupt them, maybe they can tell us about. And also an interesting thing with meat, I guess, so Tibs is when it's cooked. You could also have it, I guess, like not cooked style, like, or lub or gored. Do you guys have any experience with that? Oh, what's going on over there? Is that like a Shiro dump? Let's get that on.
Keep forgetting.
Nice.
Hopefully you like spicy.
Great. Oh, that's a berbere dump. Yeah, look at all that berbere.
A little more water.
Great. That's great. No, yeah, keep on bringing. Yeah, bring the fire. Oh, you know what? Let me stop sharing. Basically, what just happened was Josephine dumped a whole bunch of berbere. Oh, are you taking it out?
There's a
I hope you're not doing that for me.
It's too hot.
Oh, it's for you.
She's more the spicy. I like it very, very. I like it spicy, but I think she's 2 notches ahead of me on that one.
More like 5.
Yeah, wow, that's a look at all that berbere. We're like just.
Yeah. She looked at me like, you want me
Are
to
you
eat it?
trying to kill it? I'm just kidding, guys.
Cool. Let's see what else. What else we got? Oh, hey, Mom, I see you just took something off the oven or off the stove. What will you hold those up for us?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So we did it with chicken instead of meat, instead of beef.
Ooh. Look at
And
that.
and here's the other one.
Oh, this is my mom's Shiro. Check this out.
Let's see. Oh, wow. Very good.
See both of them?
Wow. I love the bowls.
Yeah.
They're beautiful bowls.
Yeah, and then here's the injera to put it on.
Yep.
Yum. I think is it
Yeah.
upside down? I think it should have like the spongy holy side up, right?
Yeah, so the holes almost sort of like they're little pockets for the sauce.
Oh, that's on the top?
Yeah.
That's showing? Oh, okay.
Top, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like this.
Mm-hmm. The spongy
Okay.
side. Yeah. Nice. Oh, it smells so good in here. I guess it probably smells really good all here too. I wish we could kind of like share smell functionality in Zoom. Should be on there.
Smells so good.
It's smelling good where you are, guys?
Thank you for that recipe. I made some owaze right now with gin and berbere
Yeah.
and beer and water and oil.
You did it.
It's good as hell.
Yeah.
So thank
Wow.
you.
That's amazing. You're welcome.
Yay.
That is awesome.
That would
What
definitely
did you
be
do?
next level Zoom to have like a smell factor through Zoom would be definitely take us to the next level.
Yes. We need to be able to share smells.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Emily, will you tell us how you made that hot sauce?
Well, I just put some of the berber in a container. I don't know, I didn't really measure it. And then added a couple drops of gin, maybe like half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. And then a little bit of beer from the beer that I was drinking, very convenient. And enough water to thin it out. And then probably maybe a half teaspoon to a teaspoon. I just used canola oil.
Yeah.
And whisked it until it got really smooth.
Perfect.
And then added a little more beer because it didn't feel like bubbly enough. Didn't feel.
Nice.
Awesome.
You might have to sell out that recipe or
Yeah.
something.
And I will say, I actually didn't realize, I guess, how much rosemary is used in Ethiopian cuisine. And when I added the rosemary to the tibs, I was like, oh my gosh, now it smells like tibs. And I just had never really recognized.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Mm.
It's delicious. Yes.
Yeah. Recognize the rosemary. Awesome. Let's see, Zareen, how's yours going?
It's going well. I have a technical question about the charring of the onions. How charred do they have to be for tips?
That really depends on your preference, I would say. That depends on your preference, and some people it sort of bothers them to have like big onions. Yeah, or onions that are crunchy as your sort of. So that is your discretion, really. So I'll just show you the onions we're using. So we're using just the red onions, and you can sort of see they're like chopped as such. And if you saute just until these are clear, that's good enough. Because you have to figure once you add the meat, it's gonna get more heat as well, so that will caramelize them even more. But you don't want to overdo them as well. So once these are clear, you should be okay to add the meat on there, if that makes sense. Okay, all right.
Mm. I feel like my mom raised me to love burned everything, so she'd probably char the smack out of them.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm doing my mom's method where it's like charred.
Yeah, just like burn them over the fire. Wow, Gus, dude, look at you, what you're stirring around there, looking like the Food Network.
You want me to use this one?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's what you got, like Shiro in a cast iron?
So yeah, I'm doing the tibs in the cast iron.
Ooh.
This is the mix, of all of the tomatoes, onion, everything. And I'm just kind of sauteing it, and I'm gonna add the meat back in that I already kind of seared.
Ooh, looks good. Looks great, man. Cool. Let's see. Ooh, oh, you just did it. You just did it. Just threw the tibs in. Yo, check out my friend Gus's tibs.
Wow, that looks really good. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Gus, get some portrait mode of that for us.
And you got the cast iron. I love cooking.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Habesha approved, Gus. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, you know what's great? I'm starting to inhale the berberry. It's making it really wonderful. This is a
I
great.
think I finished my gyro. I don't know.
Ooh. Ooh, Andrea with what's that? A rosemary garnish?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So good. So instant ready.
Yeah.
Wait, can you show it one more time?
Yeah, let me get another angle because it was not comfortable.
Yeah, hit another angle. Yes.
Oh, wow. So pretty.
Yeah. Nice, Andrea. That's beautiful.
Pretty excited. And I'm
Oh,
just
and you got the
eating
Peloton in the background. Nothing like some pigs and Peloton.
I was just doing it.
I love your place.
Thank you. I can't wait to have you over.
Yeah, I can't wait to.
Soon, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll do a Mexican community one and you can come and cook here.
Totally. Yeah. Well, hopefully you can teach us how to make some Mexican food one of these days.
Yeah, happy to.
Andrea, I think you're the only native of Mexico City on the call. So we will all.
Wow, So honored. I didn't think that was going to be that unique.
It's unique among this audience.
Andrea, have you ever done a al pastor, like a spit, like trompo?
From scratch, I don't think I've ever had all the spices because you have to have like 10 to 15 spices, and we honestly have such great pastor tacos here that I don't have the incentive to do my own. But that would be a great experience.
Let's see. Joseph, speaking of future sessions, a lot of us are really looking forward to I put the promise of a Southern buttermilk biscuit session up on the website, and the communitykitchen.co inboxes have been flooded asking for Joseph.
It's gonna be really fun, and also like very customizable. So it'll be like the basic recipe, but then also if you wanna, because you can jazz it up any type of way with any type of flavor from any cuisine, or so it'll be really good.
Ooh, can't wait. What do you mean it's customizable?
So there's a base recipe of like your standard buttermilk biscuit, and then you can like step it up, and maybe if you want to do a honey buttermilk biscuit, you can do that. And then I tried one where it's like I added pecorino romano and togarashi, so it's got like Italian cheese and Japanese spice. So like you could even do like a Burberry one if you wanted to.
Wow, Burberry biscuits.
Yeah, it's just like basically balancing the right flavors for a biscuit, but buttermilk is like a perfect base because it's got a little bit of that tang and it adds a little tenderness. Oh, look at Daniel's.
Wow, Rachel, that looks like a beautiful finished product.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll flip you back around. Now you got the.
Yeah,
we got the Shiro.
Joseph, I liked hearing your story, so I didn't want to lose it. But come back to us after we show off Rachel's beautiful. Just show us that again, whatever that was.
That's the Shiro.
Hold on. How do I make it so that yours is pinned? There we go. Wow. Yo.
Oh my God.
That can is amazing.
Did you garnish that with like watercress or something?
I think it's actually like broccoli sprouts that I got last week. I don't think it's traditional Ethiopian, but it looks pretty.
Broccoli
We
sprouts.
love the creativity.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I tasted it. It's delicious. Thank you. I've never cooked Ethiopian.
Wow. Yo, you did it really well. That's very well plated. Awesome. By the way, where are you, Rachel?
I just moved to Brooklyn like 2 months ago. I was living in Hong Kong until then.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, so.
You've been living in Hong Kong for a while, right?
Yeah, like we lived there 5.5 years.
Wow.
So we were in London 3 years before that. Actually, when I visited Ethiopia while I was in London, so that was cool.
Oh, cool. What was your best food memory of Ethiopia?
What was my best food memory? That's a good question. Everything is delicious. I do admit it's not the best food memory. The most vivid one is I'm mostly vegetarian, and I do remember like stopping on a roadside stand, and like they were really excited for me to try like raw meat, like the raw Tibs version. And as someone who doesn't even eat cooked meat, it was a very like overwhelming experience. But everyone else thought it was delicious.
So you did not break your vegetarianism for that?
No, that didn't.
Awesome. Well, welcome back to the States after 9 years of living abroad.
Yeah, thank you. You're in LA now?
Yep, in LA.
Okay.
John, looks like I saw you. Looks like you're plating something over there. Are you in the final throws?
Yeah, I've been like eating as I go. It's really good.
Well, let's see it.
Yeah. I took a picture. I'll send you a picture of the plate before I started with my hands and everything.
That's okay. Just the people want to see it.
So good.
Wow, John.
It's really great. Adrian likes it too.
Nice. Were you able to get any injera with it?
Yeah.
And it's like gluten-free injera, yeah? Or is it the wheat kind? Like, was Adrienne able to enjoy it?
No, she's sans injera, but it's okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really wonderful though. Thank you all.
Amazing. Cool. Let's see. So I feel like many of us we're in like various stages. A lot of us have finished. Some of us are still going. Let's take a little progress check over here. See how ours is going.
Ours has that water slowly come boil. So
Ooh.
that's what we're talking about. See with the chickpea sauce, you see how it's coming to a boil. So this is when you know you're ready to start putting the chickpea.
The Shiro in. Okay, got it. And then the Tibs are just chilling here, or firing.
Yeah, I kind of like cooked it initially first and got the water out. That's like my way of cleaning it. And then I just drained it. And then we just put a little bit of olive oil and we're just like, I like it crisp, so we both like it crisp, so we're just making it saute, and then we'll add the tomatoes and the onions.
So this is what gives it that sort of dark, like kind of like blackened salmon, or if you anytime, I mean, if you guys like to eat steak or anything, this process is what sort of blackens the meat a little bit, and then we'll sort of towards the end add everything else in.
Nice. And you got a bag of Shiro right there?
Yes.
Cool. Let's watch your Shiro pour.
Do you want me to just cut with a knife?
Yeah, or you can cut it in the scissor in the corner.
Where is it?
Dad, can I show you mine?
Yes, Zareen. Let's see it. Ooh, that's your Tibs? Yeah.
Right? Oh, wow.
I'm going to screenshot this. Yeah.
Wow, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, Zareen.
Very beautiful color.
It's like shining and shimmering.
Yeah.
Splendor.
Very good.
Awesome. Did you have some homemade injera to eat with that?
I'm gonna make some. I added some.
You're gonna like make it now.
Yeah.
Can we watch you make an injera?
Or it's probably gonna be a failure, but let's see.
Of course, that's fine. It's more valiant than any of us have attempted. I'm sure we're all like making this injera with you.
Okay.
You know, your success is our success.
Is anyone else sweating?
Yes, I'm sweating over here.
Yes.
I'm not even cooking. I'm just like sitting in here. I'm sweating. But we got some bubbling Shiro. Oh, did you put the Shiro in?
Not yet.
All right, we're about to get a Shiro ad.
Yeah, here. I was gonna probably the smaller one because I just only made a small hole.
Cool.
That one. Okay.
Great.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier about the shuttle, like that, why you want to do it with this process, and it will give you a good idea as to what your water to shuttle ratio is. So you just want to, I'm going to be very careful not to sort of dump. So what you want to do is sort of scatter it so that it clumps not as much. But even so, even with me doing this, you see that it's starting to clump together. So Josie's just going to stir for me to try and make sure that it doesn't clump up as much. And the reason that ours has sort of got this reddish color is because we added the barbari to it. So I'm gonna keep putting more spoons of the shuttle in because we can tell the consistency is too watery. So after about, and also as it cooks, you'll notice that naturally it will thicken, and that's how you sort of know that it is ready. You just don't want it to be too thick where it's sort of a pasty consistency. You want it to be smooth and almost watery, I guess, right?
Yeah. You can have your own cooking show.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Maron, you're
like
pro.
this
This is so fun.
So one question as you go, on the recipe, it had you put in the chickpea flour first and then the water. So that's how I did it because I was just reading as I went.
Yeah, blame me for the recipe.
Well, you went back and forth. It was like chickpea flour, water, chickpea flour, water. So it was more of like a iterative process.
You can do it that way too.
Okay.
I think, yeah, it's all like how you learned it. Yeah, we've done it both ways. It's just like easier to like follow along or either to like control when you do it this way because it's like slow process. But
This is like
both
better
ways
beginner
work.
Shiro.
Yeah, but if it clumps, you can just like move it to one side and just kind of like unclump it.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you stir for a second so you can get an idea for.
So if it gets clumped, you just go like this and then just go like that around it.
Nice.
That was actually my other question. Is it supposed to be like completely smooth, or does it usually have like little bits of clumps in it or not?
No, it should be completely smooth,
Yeah.
fresh.
Okay.
Like if you just made it, so the reason I say that is because sometimes like if you have leftovers and you put it in the fridge, you'll notice when you reheat it, it will not be that same smooth consistency, and that's normal. And for some people that doesn't bother them, but if it bothers you, what you can do is you can just put it in a small saucepan again, put some heat on it, add a little bit of water, keep adding water until you get the consistency that you want, and it will be as good as fresh.
Okay.
Add a little more.
Cool. Sounds like there's a schism in the Shiro community about whether you add the water first or the Shiro first. I'm a Shiro first kind of guy. What can I say?
You can also do it separately, kind of like you beating an egg.
Yeah.
You kind of beat the Shiro with water and then put it in.
Yeah, there are different ways to do it, honestly.
That's how I learned it when I was like little, because I used to have such a hard time eating it. It's kind of an art because it gets clumped up. You don't want that. So I just do it like separately, like as if I'm beating the eggs, and then just dump it in. So there's like different techniques, and you just have to like, I feel like the cooking within like anything Ethiopian is like experiment and like things that you learn from your parents and stuff like that. But yeah, so you can do it different ways.
So as it clumps, like Josie was saying, you just want to go around the perimeter of your saucepan to sort of declump all the, and you'll see that it will sort of dissolve into that sauce. You want to keep doing that, and then. And what we'll do too, I'm just gonna lower the heat a little bit because I want to make sure that it's fully smooth. Otherwise, I'm not gonna. The heat is too high for the amount of clumps I have right now. This is sort of me just talking to myself. So.
Very helpful. All right, so low heat is better for not clumping.
Well, or if you know, like for me, I can tell there's a lot of clumps in it, right? So it gives me more time to actually go through it meticulously and make sure that all of the lumps are out. And then I can go back to adding the heat and then let it cook. And then I know that all the clumps are out. I'm not gonna have any surprises. So that's the reason behind it. But if you're really good about, as you're adding the shiro into the water, you're stirring very, meticulously, and there are no clumps, I think it's fine to keep the heat there. But see, now it's more of a smooth consistency. You can see that I don't really have clumps. It's more of just the onion and the tomatoes and the garlic that we're seeing now.
Also, would you say like the spatula, the one we use is a different one?
Is a different one, yeah. This sort of has the little holes too, so it lets some of the clumps out. So again, so just
So this is
things.
an expert Shiro spatula.
Oh gosh.
Just because it has the holes in it.
Oh no! You would want something that's skinny like this.
Okay.
So as you're like stirring it like really fast, it's moving around and stir. It's kind of like pancake when you're making the batter. So it like declumps it really faster than like what we're using.
Oh, these are like Western. These are Western spatulas.
Yeah.
I
didn't think through that.
But so we're pretty good on the. So this is a good consistency. You might feel like it's a little watery right now, but as it cooks, it's going to condense down and it's going to thicken.
Nice.
And that's how you'll know it's cooked all the way.
Cool. Hey, Anna, I just saw you walk by the screen. You just got engaged. Congratulations. Yay, Anna. Congratulations, Anna and Gus.
Thank you so much. I'm like stuffing my face with tips.
So good. Your engagement tips.
My engagement tips. I know. We have the whole apartment full of flowers. It's been very sweet. Everybody's been very nice. So thank you. This is so awesome. I remember when we were at the park and you were like, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Now you're doing it.
Yeah, you were my inspiration. You said go for it.
I said do it because you
Yeah.
need to. You have so much knowledge, so many good things to share. You're doing it.
Well, I hope everyone with the dream follows theirs. For example, Gus and Anna run a Tex-Mex taco business in Washington, D.C., which just got written up in the Washington Post. So we also have some famous foodies here, in addition to being recently engaged people.
Oh, amazing. Which one? My parents live there, so I'm back a lot.
It's called La Tejana.
Okay.
Yeah, we do breakfast tacos for now and queso. I grew up on the border of Mexico and Texas, so that's what I grew up eating. And Gus makes every single taco, every tortilla by hand. So yeah, you should come tell your parents to check it out.
Whoa, definitely. Okay.
So awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're sweating. I'm sweating too, man. I'm not even doing anything. I'm sweating.
Spicy.
In a good way. So good.
All right, we're ready. We're going.
Oh
Here
my
we go.
God. Wait, Olivia, sorry. You keep raising your hand, but we're going to look at Emily's food right now.
So fine, we can wait.
Hold on, guys. Look at this. This looks like it's actually from like a proper like Ethiopian restaurant.
Oh, look.
Wow.
Yo, Emily, I'm trying to pin your video. Yeah. That's pretty.
I love it. That looks like restaurant style.
Yeah. Way to
We
go.
even got some gomen from that when we were getting injera, just so we had like something extra but didn't have to make it.
Yeah. Oh wait, describe that third dish for folks here who didn't.
Just like the collard greens. I'm pretty sure just cooked with onions and maybe like ghee and super simple.
Mm.
But you gotta have that green, gotta have that green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, need that green. Take a picture of that. It looks so pretty.
Yeah, it does. I'm like really excited. Yay, thank you.
Yay. All right. Olivia, you had your hand up for a while. How's your Shiro situation?
We're doing well. We're actually done with the Shiro, which is great. I think we're just about to start the Tibs. Question is, do we use the purified butter to saute the meat, or do we do oil for that part?
Question, friends.
Yes.
When they're sauteing the Tibs for the first time, oil, clarified butter, or nothing?
I would say like oil. I just like to do it with nothing first because I like it drier. So I just do that and then drain the water the first time around, and then I'll like cook it with oil again, so it can get like kind of brownish on the outside. So yeah, but you can do, if you don't want like a lot of process, you can just do it with oil. Yeah, especially if you didn't wash the meat, it should be like enough to like saute it by itself.
What did you say about washing the meat?
Oh, especially if you didn't wash it, it doesn't have any water in it already, so it should be like fine to cook it with oil. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you guys.
Yes.
What are you gonna go with, Olivia? Oil or no oil?
I'm gonna do no oil to start. Maybe add a little bit if it looks like we need to.
Nice. Keep us posted.
We will, for sure. We're doing well.
Awesome.
Okay, Zach, here's how it turned out.
Oh my God, Zareen, the homemade injera. Whoa.
It's
Whoa.
not as
fast.
Hold on, check out this homemade injera that Zareen made.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so nice and circular.
Not as fluffy, but I think it'll taste good.
Can you like demonstrate the texture for us?
Oh yeah.
Really, so here.
Oh, nice. We're getting like a whole close up. Yes.
It's like this.
Oh, wow. It rips so spongily.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Perfect.
It's not, it's not the restaurant injera, but
It's probably better.
It'll do. And it's nice and dark because it's all teff.
I'm so impressed. That's like super dark. That's like the darkest injera I've seen all year. That's great.
Can you show that again, please? Can you show the injera again so we can see it?
Oh,
Wow, it's really dark.
Awesome work, Serene.
Yeah. Really yummy. Soury.
Yeah. How does the taste compare to a restaurant injera when you make it at home?
It's definitely sourier. That's a word. And I don't know, it has like a little bit more depth in the flavor. And it isn't as light. It's like kind of like a heavier, tough flavor.
Mm.
It's real good. It's really yummy.
Wow. Very excited for the woke up and made post. Breaking it all down. Seems impressive. Wow. Cool. What other updates we got? How's that going, Emily?
It's really, really good. We got lamb at the farmer's market instead of beef, so we like went all out. And it is excellent with the lamb.
Wow.
And I'm really glad for those nice overview videos of the Shiro because we had not added enough water, and if I hadn't seen those videos, it would be like way too pasty. So.
Ooh. So thank you for the Shiro instructions.
It's perfect.
Good. I'm glad you guys like it.
Bernie, are you eating that straight from the straight pan to the face?
Yes.
Nice. How is it?
It's good. I'm not sure if I got the. I don't think I've had this before, so I don't entirely know how it's comparing. But Mine is like a thicker consistency for sure. Which, I mean, I don't mind, but.
When I was visiting Isaac in Ethiopia, his favorite would be this Tegabino Shiro, which I think he's described as just like thicker.
Yes, that's in the northern region that it's very popular, that style of shiro where it's very, very thick. That's what you're referring to.
Yeah. So Bernie, you basically just must be a northern Ethiopian at heart.
It's really good.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Classic thick Shiro making, Bernie. Yep. Awesome. So, all right, we've still got some good cooking time to go. Let's see, what other good thing? Oh, you know what? Here's a good moment actually while we're sort of like waiting for food to be made. One of the purposes of the community kitchen, the idea was to sort of, we're all getting together, we're learning about new recipes from different parts of the world. Another idea was also to contribute to causes that are important to the communities of the food we're cooking and close to the hearts of our hosts. And so for this edition of the community kitchen, we're donating to a GoFundMe of a young woman in the Ethiopian American community. Do you have anything to, do you have any more info to share, Josephine?
Yeah, she lives in North Carolina, and that's where I went to college at Eli University. So I saw it there, and she's a young woman. I think she's 18. Who just recently got diagnosed with cancer. But I just saw it on that page, and then in my church group, they're actually donating for her, so kind of like full circle. And she does sing for the church choir, so kind of like both of my worlds connected me to her. So I wanted to really help her reach her goal. Yeah.
Awesome.
Get the treatment that she needs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna post the, I'll drop the GoFundMe link in the chat. And yeah, I mean, whatever you can afford, you know, everyone's in different economic times, but sounds like even a little bit would make a big difference. And I think a really special thing for me about this whole idea is like community. We're all in community together. Even if we don't know this young woman, I think we can help her out. So, yeah, cool. So that's a bit. Speaking of other causes, I know Josephine's in the middle of like cooking, but Josephine runs an NGO which is doing some great work in Addis. I think it's on pause a little bit while you're here in the States in grad school, but would you care to share anything about it with the group?
Yes. So it all came out of the idea of like doing a undergraduate research with the Addis Ababa University in Ethiopia. So I was there for 8 months conducting needs-based assessment, and what was trying to figure out what is the real root causes of poverty, and then what kind of governmental, non-governmental intervention is out there. So through that, I found out a lot of single mothers come from the countryside and they don't have access to certifications or IDs and things like that to even be into a governmental support group. So I created a nonprofit that trains them to make weaving, kind of like dresses like what I'm wearing. So, and we help them with weaving looms, and we help them start their own small scale businesses. I've graduated like 25 women so far, and they all are doing their own businesses. So yeah, it's in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. And what's it called?
Yenegat Chora, which means like tomorrow's hope or tomorrow's sunshine. So yeah.
That's great. Do you think you will return to Addis and keep working on this at some point?
Yeah, I would love to. I already registered it as a 501c3 in Maine. That's where I'm originally from. So I definitely do want to go back to do it. But right now with the political climate and things like that, it's just been really hard to keep it going. So it's just on pause. But I definitely want to go, and I'm like getting my master's now in business. So I want to figure out a better model to be able to go back and like redo some of the things that we were doing. So, yeah.
Super awesome. I hope that if you get it set up again, we'll do another one of these community kitchens and raise some money for that organization. Or we can all like buy some of the goods. Yeah. Oh, Isaac has one?
Yeah, he and the Peace Corps people, I think they bought like, I want to say like 40, 50 merchandise when they came to visit they got to see my NGO. We give them a tour of the weaving loom, how it's done. They got to meet the women and the teacher, and they got to meet the local government that we worked with, Isaac and the Peace Corps group. So yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Are there, can we purchase them online, or is it not set up for that?
Yeah, you can purchase it personally through me. I still have some here, and essentially I do want to start an online marketplace for it to be selling it. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So if people wanted to learn more, people just email you? Do you have a website?
Yeah, you can email me, or you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram too. So it's like YEN.
All right, YEN.
Another E, yeah.
Yeah.
And then GAT.
Yep.
And then space, and then CHORA. Yeah.
Cool. And people just find that on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, and then they can just email me at jgardner.
It's J Gardner.
Yeah, GARDNER.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
At elon.edu. That's the one I check frequently, but
Cool.
I have the NGO one, but yeah.
In case you're interested in some awesome Ethiopian handicrafts,
Yes.
check out that info. Or if you somehow lose track of this, just email me and I got it too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. So let's see, what else do we got going? Vicky, how's yours coming? I see you stirring over there.
So I thought I was done, but I think I made my Shiro too thick, so I'm adding more water to it now.
Oh, you had that Tegabino Northern style also?
Yeah, so that's it.
Hold up. Let me get the little, show that up again. I'm going to get a screenshot. Yeah, Vicky. Ooh, hold up. Nice. So good. Cool. I feel like most people have like, we're in a pretty good state. I feel like we got like all these onions and jalapenos are going to go in there. This is sweet. We're just waiting for it to get ready. Cool. Let's see. I wonder, I think we're probably in a place where we could like maybe do some closing thoughts from the group. One thing real quick is I wanted to share, I have a little feedback form here, which I'm going to drop in the chat, would love, while it's still fresh, if you have thoughts on how today went, to fill that out, what could be improved, what you liked, what you want to see more of. And if there's ideas you have for future community kitchen events, would love to hear them. Immediately coming up, we're gonna have a Nigerian event in honor of Nigerian Independence Day in October, and we got Joseph leading us in an exploration of Southern cuisine with the beginning of buttermilk biscuits, which is going to be amazing. Let's see, I'll keep pursuing Andrea to do a Mexican event, and we'll just, maybe Zareen will lead us in some Hyderabadi fare. So all these are in the future. But please let me know. One thing you'll see in the feedback form is, I think there's something special about like growing the community, even beyond like people we all, I mean, it's pretty cool. Even among here, we got a lot of people that don't really know each other. I guess some connection. Yeah, we got like Olivia's roommate, whose name I already forgot. I'm sorry.
Karina. I don't think I ever introduced myself anyway.
Wait, Karina?
Karina.
Yeah, wait, Karina.
Yeah, this was really fun. Thank you so much. I'm excited to do another one that I was just saying like that we'd love to do the Nigerian one when it comes up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice. Fire alarm. So good. I wondered when that would happen. So yeah, in the spirit of you being here, Karina, I wanted to ask you and ask everyone maybe if there's like 2 people you think might be interested in this, people who like to cook, who I don't know. It'd be cool if you could, like, if you want to put you could either forward on this info to them, or you could even just put their email address in the feedback form, and I'll send them like a little like, hey, John said you might be interested, so here's some info. Just like a referral thing to try to grow the community in a little bit. The whole idea is just like spreading love and empathy among the world via food. Maybe the thing we could wrap this up with is to just like take a moment to pause and see like if each of you like wanted to reflect, like what did you take from this experience, learn something new. I don't know, what thoughts do you have after this community kitchen moment?
Your question real quick, Zach?
Oh yeah, I was just asking for general thoughts and feelings now that this community kitchen is complete. What was your experience like? What came up for you? What felt good? What didn't feel good?
It was really fun. I ended up finding a new Ethiopian market in like the Fairfax area. It was really great. He had taught me how to say thank you, and I forgot how to say it, but it was just nice to kind of go to a new store and get ground teff for the first time and meet your kibbeh. I didn't know what that was, but the spices are very similar to Indian spices, so I thought that was really interesting. So, thank you.
That's super cool. And the way you say thank you is Amaseganalo.
Amaseganalo, that's right. That's right. It's a little complex. I'll have to memorize it.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. I love that you found a new spot. What's the name of the market that you found?
It's called Gojo. I think it's called Gojo Ethio.
Nice. There's a really good Ethiopian bar in West Philly called Gojo's. I guess that's a common name.
Yeah, it's a famously good bar for underage people, as I remember correctly.
I think that's what it's known for.
Yeah. Well, Zach, thank you, man. I have to hop off here, but I just want to say thank you to you and the whole team. Like, this was awesome. I've been eating Ethiopian food my whole life. My dad lived in Ethiopia in 1968, 1969, draft dodging the Vietnam War, and came back to DC. And I grew up eating Ethiopian food my whole life. And I've never made an Ethiopian dish from scratch. And so this was a really cool experience to actually try to do something and have like people from Ethiopia like to lead us along. So I really appreciate the opportunity to do this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gus.
You guys were a great crew.
That's a beautiful thing Your parents did Peace Corps there, right? Is that what you said?
My dad did, yeah.
I did, yeah. I didn't know he did Peace Corps in a draft dodging move. That's way to go.
Yep. It was back when it was like, yeah, right when it was still Haile Selassie was still in power at that time. It was before everything.
Wow. Cool. Let's see. Any other closing thoughts or feelings you gone through this?
I would also just reiterate the thank you to our hosts for troubleshooting as we went. Because as Gus said, I've never cooked Ethiopian food, so even little details of like how you avoid the clumps and how you make sure it's the right level of spicy and how you get everything perfect. There's nothing like having it from people, like you say, that learn it from their grandmothers and know it kind of by their hearts and their eyes. So just thank you again.
Oh, of course. Thank you, guys.
That's beautiful. Do you think before you sign off, Gus, we could just get let's like get a screenshot of everybody just on the camera. Let me see if I can make my screen big. This feels like a beautiful moment. All right. If you got some food to hold it up, otherwise just smile. Awesome. Thank you so much. I think that'll wrap it up for us today. Happy Ethiopian New Year. I love you all. Thanks for joining. And I'll share more info soon. Bye.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
So fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Enjoy, everybody.
Thank you.